This is Pete Moore on Halo Talks NYC. On location, San Diego, 2019 URSA. I'm here with my new fast friend, Robert Jackson from Fitness BI. We're going to learn about your background in the industry and how you've quickly become a formidable player in the analytics side and the AI side of this business. And it says it kind of shows that if you got a good idea and an opportunity and you understand the frustrations in the market and you can solve them quickly, you can create a very big business in a very short period of time. So welcome to the show.
All right. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So you want to talk about your background and how you got into the health club industry as an operator and a real estate owner, and then how that evolved into understanding what your own frustrations were, which you could, in talking to myself, as you might talk to yourself, either out loud or not, and say, like, look, I got to solve this, and if I got this problem, obviously other people do. So fire away with your background.
That's right. Yeah, well, I started out as a personal trainer doing personal training in a 5,000 square foot studio in the Bay Area, and that was 10 years ago. So my first studio.
Okay.
And then we quickly grew that and doubled the size there. Turned it into a different concept, trashed, I think, 2 different business models over that time. Got lucky enough to kind of continue it forward in the first couple of years. And then got an opportunity right at the time where financial crisis was hit in 2009, 2010, 2011. Real estate prices were good. And we ended up buying our competitor right across the street from us. Just buying the building, got the business for free.
Nice.
It was a nice club, but it was full racquetball club. So we ended up transitioning over there, brought our members over there, and today it's good. The 2 clubs are about a $10 million business annually, and it's a great environment. So that's kind of how I got in.
Did you live in that area as well, or is that where you're from, or what? Did you pick that based on some demographic search, or is it kind of like, hey, it's an open location, I'm going to go get it? And
kind of a little bit of both. We thought we were going to open up a studio in San Francisco, so that was where I was working.
Yeah.
I started, I was 17, and I got my first job in a gym as a sales director, and just worked my way up from there. A small, tiny little location. Worked for 24 Hour for 4 years, and then opened a studio after that. So I was a GM at 24 Hour. Kind of grew up in that sales culture, sales system.
Sure.
Under the big sales system at 24 Hour at that time, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one of the important things that hopefully people that come into this industry and maybe aren't in this industry but are listening, this is a sales-driven industry, and you got to ask for the sale, and you got to make sure that you've got the ability to close, and you can't sit there like a like a jewelry store and hope that you're like, oh, you would like to see this item. I hope that you buy and window shop, because people window shop for a long time without buying anything.
That's right, especially in our industry, right?
Yeah.
Especially trying to get people healthy and get them off the couch and get into the gym. I mean, it's a hard sale, especially if you're a high price club. Our clubs are $120 a month each, and so we have to have really highly qualified salespeople. And I think that background, being at 24 Hour, growing in, there were some really, I don't want to say bad things, but there's some really fun things going on there at that time, right? Some interesting things that I learned a lot from.
Okay.
The sales culture there was unlike anything I've ever seen.
Right.
I mean, close out.
It's like a boiler room on Wall Street, right?
Oh,
You're like,
crazy.
we got $2 million left. We got to hit this, as if the world's gonna end, and then you got to be like, damn, dude, it's like the first again. Now I got to run this play.
All back over again, man.
There are guys they used to work at 24 Hour, and I still, they run other club chains now, or they were in high pressure sales in other brands, and they're like, bro, do not call me the 27th to the 31st of the month, because I am completely unavailable.
Yep, that's right.
This is how it is,
That's right. That's how it was.
And then we work with some of these boutiques, and they're like, close out? What does close out mean? I'm like, you're clearly not selling, because if you don't know what close out is, you're in a lot of trouble.
That's right.
So how did Fitness BI come about when you were, obviously operating these clubs, 120 a month, you got a sales culture, things are going well. What inspired you to say, I got to go do something else, and also run your current operation, and say, I got a frustration. I looked around. I can't believe no one else is helping me do this.
Yep.
And, should this be part of the product set of every company that is currently an outsourced vendor, and you're like, oh shit, I got to go build this myself, and I'm happy to do it because I actually know what I need.
Right. So, I think I wanted Fitness BI for a couple of years before, and I was waiting every URSA. I said, oh, maybe somebody's going to do this.
Right.
Maybe I'm going to find the solution here this year. And we never found it. And then I would come again. Oh, it's going to be here nope, it's not there again. And I think that, we as a small company, and I say small, under $20 million, right? You don't have the C-level staff to support 2 to 3 business analysts to run all your reports, right?
Yeah.
And as we got more segmented with our software selections, right? As software got better and cheaper, and people started ripping things off, like, for example, you have Salesforce that would maybe be your main ERP in a different environment, but in our world, nobody's really willing to pay $100,000 to integrate Salesforce. So what happens? You get a company like ClubOS, you get InTouch, you get these great companies that take good processes from there and make it specific for our industry and sell it for a very low monthly cost, like a couple $100 per month.
Right.
So then you end up with 7 or 8 different softwares.
Yeah, the tech stack becomes like, dude, I can't even remember my password to my Gmail account.
That's right.
I haven't posted something on Instagram in like 2 years because I can't remember. Like, I'm like, the forget password button is basically busted on my screen because I'm just like, I don't even know.
Oh man, it's so funny how many times we get an owner that's like trying to set up their password for Fitness BI, and we have a lot of security metrics. This is all your data. We want to make sure that, when you're signing in there, it's a secure password.
Yeah.
But what do you mean? Why can't it take this path? It will take them 4 or 5 tries. And this is not like crazy, but they'll put password 1, password 3. It's man, that's all your data.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
That's funny. We'll get you plugged in.
There we go. Yeah,
I'm good.
Me? I'm good.
You got me back.
Yeah. So I had 7 softwares, right?
So that's crazy. And you run in a $10 million operation with 7 software platforms.
And so you got enough, I think, to put a decent level C-level team in. Your CFO's there, your COO's there. But the CFO, if that guy's running reports all day long and trying to figure out how to put this data together from 7 different softwares, I'm certainly not going to do it. I'm not going to go log into ClubOS to see, or Gym Sales to see how many leads I have, how many got acquired, to InTouch to see, and then go back to NetPulse, then go to my financial statement. No, it doesn't happen.
You might never leave your house.
Yeah.
At that point, you might have to get a stronger broadband connection too.
That's right. And then if I want to do things like, look at how is average usage per member going up or down, right? Things like that require a sophistication of calculation that you can't really do in these host softwares.
Right.
And then tying all that together, I mean, it's a big job for any business analyst. So what I wanted to do was create a platform for my 2 clubs that allowed me to see a 360 view of my whole business and some of the other businesses that I have in one sign-in. So as an owner, I don't have to go into any other system besides that to see what's going on.
Got it. Okay, so you came to like 2 to 3 URSAs. Mm-hmm. You got a tech stack that's starting to like have password protection issues, from your brain.
Yeah.
And so you come up with Fitness BI like under 3 years ago. Now you've got how many clubs?
We have about 1,400.
That's amazing.
About to hit 1,400.
So when you architected Fitness BI as a platform, how much of this is basically like a re-architecture of your brain that's basically now in a SaaS?
I think a lot of it started out that way, right? Like, so we built this for us. That was the starting portion of it. And I think what was powerful when we came to our first URSA was that a club owner could get in there and say, oh, I need exactly this. This is it. I want to track this number. I want to track this number, exactly what you're doing here. This is way better than what I'm doing. But then we quickly kind of found out that there are a lot of enterprise customers that won't go away from the way they're tracking things, and they're a lot smarter than us. There was a lot of people in the room that were really smart, and we used those use cases over the last couple of years, and a lot of work and a lot of building to build out tons of templates and different ways that people are analyzed. I think there's like over 200 KPIs, which is ridiculous for any one person. But when you look at the variety of use cases and business models, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like average dues per customer, get more customers, lose less customers, get more money from each member, right? So what else is there in the fitness business?
Well, I mean, the thing that's unbelievable when you think about it is people come in, not just to our industry, but people come into industries like and saying like, all right, I'm going to create a tech platform for this industry. Like, if you're not in the industry, you can't tell me what the tech platform should be because you don't understand how the business works.
That's right.
And I was on a panel last week in New York, and they had like 5 different business owners, and each one said, the reason why I started this business because I had a personal frustration and I couldn't figure out where I could get my fix on this. So I did it myself. So basically, I love hearing stories like yours because you didn't wake up one day and be like, you know what, SaaS is going to be big. Here's the multiple trades for. Let me go find a company that I can like manufacture because I want to be like a SaaS software company. You're like manufacture because like, bro, I need my business fixed and somebody can't fix it for me. I'm going to fix it myself. And then like, all right, the business came from that. So I love the fact that you didn't be like, here's $100 million opportunity. Here's like, let me go get some development guys. It's like, I got a problem. I fixed it. Now I can fix it for other people. And that's how you build a real business of value.
That's right. And once we finally built it for us, we said, let's give this a shot. We came to our first URSA and we said, let's just put our best MVP forward without investing a ton of money into it at that time.
Sure.
And see what people say. And we just listen to the feedback, listen to how people are talking about it. And I remember a couple clients came up and said, this is going to change my whole life. Because all I'm doing right now is pulling reports and trying to figure out what's going on with my business. And if you can just show it to me like that, this is going to be life-changing. And hearing those kind of words coming out of customers, I always try to listen to what the customers are saying and how they talk about a product, see if it's going to have any kind of life.
The thing I really like about your business, and I only know enough to be dangerous, and Rich Gross and I have been talking about this for several months, is like you got mission critical data and analyses that I can actually use to fix my business real time. Where we got guys coming to us and be like, how'd you do last month? Like, we don't know yet.
Right.
Like, it's March 14th.
How are you going to get
How
after
did you
that?
not know what February did? How do you not know what yesterday did?
That's right.
It's crazy, right?
Yep.
So, in this environment of like real-time rewards and real-time satisfaction, like I should get the same satisfaction and rewards of real-time knowing like what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
What I did like an hour ago in my class. We got this client that we're working with that I'm like, how much did you make on that class? You had like 90 people in like this high intensity training.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. I'm like, you think the CEO of JetBlue doesn't know how much they made on a per revenue from New York to San Diego yesterday on that flight 89?
Yep.
Of course they do.
Of course it does. Yeah.
They know a contribution margin from that.
Yep.
They know everything, right? So come on. So I love the fact that you're taking this industry and saying like, look, we can do this. It's not like we're too small. Like we're as big as we need to be, and you're gonna run your business better.
Yep.
So what do you get? What's the presence that you have here at URSA? This this event, and how are you kind of positioning? How do you market the software to potential clients?
Well, up until now, we've just done trade shows and referrals, and that's just been crazy enough for us, right? And so we've really worked through our channel partners like ABC and Jonas and CSI. They've all been great channel partners for us. Along with people like InTouch and some of these other guys on the CRM side. So marketing, I think, has just been trade show, word of mouth, and that's really been it. So that's really all we've had actually the room for right now.
Why hasn't, like your channel partners, they seem pretty open about opening up this API, which is, I think in certain industries, people are starting to close up their API because they're like, hey, I'm going to do that, in the future. Or like, I don't, like, that's part of my product set. In this industry, I think it's finally gotten to a point where they're like, look, whoever's got the best apps that we can plug into this, like, better. Because then that, whatever my core business is, there's a higher probability that club or studio is going to stay alive.
Yep.
So they can pay whatever fees I've already negotiated with them.
Yep.
And I'm happy if they want to add Fitness BI, I'm happy to do it. You want to add InTouch, VFP, whatever it is, like I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
So was that a surprise to you? Do you feel like, the ship
that they were
sails
able to do
and
it?
everyone's like, if a client wants it, I'm going to let you in?
Yeah, I don't think it's a surprise for us because we knew the limitations, right? Like at the end of the day, the owners, the low-hanging fruit for us was they just want to see what's going on in their business from their phone.
Right.
And some of the software providers can't provide that. In fact, I don't think very many of them do. To be able to just open up your phone and see how many members did I do today? How much in revenue did we do? That was low-hanging fruit. Let's make it mobile. Let's make it easy for them to see. And that got us a lot of customers right there.
Sure.
And if a software provides that, they've got to kind of do it for free. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to invest heavily into this BI tool when you've got a great partner that can do it for you and they can charge for it. And the software systems they make their money on, the main member management systems are making their money in other ways.
Right.
So it wasn't as surprising because I knew they needed help and they needed the tool, especially to get them to the next phase.
Do you guys work with any franchisors right now?
We do. We work. We have Retro Fitness is one of our largest franchisors, one of our first customers. Crunch Fitness is another franchisor that we work with. We work with like 500 Planet Fitnesses, but we don't work with the franchisor there. We work with the individual franchisees.
Got it. So take Crunch as an example.
Yeah.
Company's been around for since the
89.
1990.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and they now have a big, robust franchising program. Probably taking a little more time to actually get locations open. But the ability for them to actually say, okay, here's what's going on downstream at our franchisees. Right now they get like revenue like sent to them, or maybe it gets reported to them later on. But for them to be able to potentially go to their management team or to their potential investment partners and be like, hey, look, like, let me tell you what's really happening. Like yesterday we did 17,000 leads, and we closed 9,000 new memberships across the network. Like, that's powerful data that to date has not been accessible.
Yeah, and I think that, so for example, in Retro's case, they had a lot of separated databases, and we were able to cross those databases, and for the first time that they've ever been able to see what was the average total spend per customer. What was a customer actually worth? Real stuff.
Wow.
Right? It's powerful. I mean, just to know how much it is. Pretty elementary. It is.
Sitting here and being like, wow, that's powerful. Like, just knowing like one.
If you don't know it, right?
If you don't know it and you don't know, then you probably shouldn't talk about the fact that you don't know it.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So, all right, so it's pretty much a no-brainer to get on a fitness BI package, right? So what does it cost per club, and do you have enough service to take advantage of the fact that everyone's going to sign up?
Yeah, so we are launching our marketing automation platform here at URSA. We got the new product rolling out. Really, really excited about that. Been working on it for about a year now.
Nice.
And it's going to fall under the Fitness BI whole platform. So, our concept is really getting insights out of the BI tool and then taking action, right? By automated workflows and drip campaigns that are based off of all of the data warehousing and predictive modeling and everything that we're doing on the backside with the data warehouse.
Okay.
Right. So you can essentially just take any field that we have already stored for you, make a segment out of it, and then put that segment into an automated drip campaign.
So it's automatically doing that. It's not just you're not just setting up alerts and that creates a new action, manual action. It actually creates like an automatic.
It's all automated.
Sweet.
Yep.
Cool.
So we got that. We're really excited about that. And
I'm excited about it now too, by the way.
Yeah. Got to come by.
I'm excited. Good. I'll check it out. And then, how big is the team now, and what's what is the next phase of corporate growth?
So our next phase, kind of is building out this marketing platform. That side of the business needs some help, and we are always on the move for business analysts.
Okay.
If there are business analysts out there that are savvy enough,
we got a financial analyst. We got a guy named Connor. We can put you on. We can put him on waivers.
I'll steal Connor from you any day, right?
Yeah, I got a non-solicit in place with you. I get on this podcast, bro. I got an I agree statement.
Right.
You didn't fucking read it.
I like it.
So as you look at the industry right now, obviously you come from the health club industry. You're current operator. Now you're running a really interesting and awesome SaaS company. When you take a look and say, somebody owns a corporate wellness center, or somebody owns a spa, or someone owns any kind of membership based, could be a church, it could be a synagogue, any membership based business where you're trying to roll that. What's the potential? It's basically you probably just need another salesperson to say, look, I want to go after this segment or this channel with modifications, obviously, on the nomenclature,
and
the verbiage of each interesting segment. But when you think about, like, as we define, the Halo sector,
right?
What do you define as your reasonable reach into, like, not just health clubs and studios, but where do you think you could take this, or where the company's going to end up taking itself over the next couple of years?
There are some natural fits, anything that has a recurring membership model to it, I think is a really good natural fit. Anything that needs to run good analysis on customer churn, anything that needs to have better reporting on essentially anything that's interacting with the customer and you're getting that kind of upfront money to pay for sessions, things like a spa, things like massage. Those are already areas that we're tackling because a lot of our health clubs have those individual business units in them. I think like East Bank has, 50 business units within this one location, right?
Yeah,
So
we got a
it's
car
massive.
wash opportunity for you, by the way.
There you go. They do have a car wash too.
Yeah.
I don't know if those guys are going to do BI, but yeah, inside, the health club.
Yeah.
So they always want to know what's going on there. What's my average ticket price? What's, how many customers do I have and how many customers did I lose? Like the biggest thing with a lot of personal training and one-time uses is that it's hard to define what a lost customer actually is, right?
Sure.
Like they just don't come back, but you don't know that because they're not canceling anything. So you have to really refine it, make sure we understand
So
it.
like you're giving us like a little window into the software that you're not allowed to see.
No, it's
Until you're paying
all
client
there.
or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So talk for a minute here about the channel partners you have, how those have worked out, and kind of how you see their growth and the growth of the franchisors and some of these multi-unit groups, and just being able to kind of help them be more successful, which you get rewards from, and where you see the industry going. We'll close out on that.
Yeah. So first, the individual franchisors that we're working with, they're growing. I think our whole network grew by like 14 or 15% total locations. Not just us. I'm talking about, just natural growth.
That's what
from
I love
adding
about
locations.
this model.
It's
Once you get
amazing.
a client that's growing, you're basically like tacking on with no customer acquisition costs.
That's right. Yep. We just get their clubs in, and as long as they follow the same model, there is some cleanup and stuff.
Sure.
But it's amazing the growth of the low price market. I mean, that just blew me away. As a high price operator, it just blows me away how they're able to up and get these facilities up and running fast. I think Crunch is a great franchisor. I think Planet does a great job. Retro does an awesome job. I mean, they're all doing really, really good work in different ways and attacking different segments and competing at the same time, but still growing facilities like crazy.
Sure. The thing I like about your business is that, one, you can power everyone. It doesn't matter what segment you're in. And whether you got 10,000 members in a Retro or a Planet, or, 10,000 members in, a high-end club, you still want to know what's going on. And there are key drivers to each part of that business that, unfortunately or fortunately for you, this is not being done as part of the product set.
Standard. It's not. I don't know that it's ever going to be in that way. It's because it is somewhat individually driven, and we've got a way that we've been able to merge everything together and get it so that somebody can onboard themselves and have a ton of KPIs.
Right.
But the move towards business intelligence in our industry, I think we're proof that it's happening, right? If you don't have that kind of a tool where you can analyze things on the fly, you can slice things on the fly, you can pick segments out and really nail them down in the matter of seconds, your competitor already does or will in the very near future. I mean, we've got 1,400 locations, and this is if you were to build it like I did for myself, we're talking about $500,000 just to invest into something like this. And that's what enterprise companies do all the time.
Right, sure.
But in our space, it's just been, given to us. Or not given to us, but, at a very low price. So we're starting to see that come up and up and up.
All right, so Robert Jackson, you and I, this is our first live interaction. We'll have many more in the future. Congrats on what you've built.
Thank you very much.
Better yet, more of a thank you for building it and solving yet another frustration that this industry, greatly needed. And, we're at 1,400 clubs now. Let's do another podcast when you're at 14,000.
That would be awesome.
Awesome,
I love
man.
it.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.